Hello, everyone. Straight line winds I was telling you about. All right, howdy, folks. Welcome back. I told you I would be back. And thank you all for taking a moment of your precious time to be here with this precious family. Okay. I'm going to try to, I got a lot to do tonight, so I'm going to race through this a little bit. Sorry, but here's your thumbnail right here. You can see your object already kind of in frame right here. So here's your culprit. Okay. And then we're going to go ahead and start the little thing. We'll zoom out a little bit. Okay, here we are, May 13th, 2024. And come here. Center that. Okay. I'll let that loop play for a second. Let your trained eye take a look at that for a minute before I start. Well, I already kind of pointed something out, but it's kind of obvious. You can see it fly by there. And notice a proton storm happen again here with this eruption. Okay, so another X flare, another eruption, another full halo CME coming our way. Okay, so there's our activity today. And like I already kind of showed you the culprit right there. That was the one frame that were kind of captured it. There's another little one squirting out down here. Watch real quick. Right there, that one. Let me roll this back up. All right, so we have this little one, all kinds of little debris kind of scattering right there, but you can clearly see that one. Okay, and then we have our main event right here. Look over on this side here. Let's do this side real quick. Interesting capture here. You guys see these two little round objects with the flames? I should have named this Great Balls of Fire, but I already used that title. All right, look like flaming eyes. Pretty crazy. Come on over and check it out. Crazy, crazy stuff going on these days. All right, so as you can see, this little face right there kind of popping out. Or did I go too far? All right. Boom, boom. Now, a secondary event, you can see this object that was trailing. And then, look, right back in here's another one. And you see this big, wide spread right here. Something else is back there. You see plasma being kind of pulled towards the middle of it. Also, we have this big spire coming off right here. And our little object coming out right there. Something else popping out over here. And down here. Let me center that a little bit better for you guys. There we go. So what I'm going to do is slow it down and then start it. Just kind of let it click away a little slower there. See the activity going on there. All right. See that one come out and kind of stop right there for a second? Might speed it up. Whoa, maybe not. That was pretty cool. Go one more faster right there. Okay, one more faster. All right, so let's get on over here to the... Oh boy, look, we've just had another X flare. Oh boy. Is somebody watching my show or something? All right. Oh yeah, that's right. It's my show. Here we go. X flare right there. We had this long duration M flare throughout the day there. That's that one curly Q1 looking thing was. That's why I kind of sped it up so you could see the motion in that one. Okay, and then there's this brand new X flare going into the next day. Would you like to take a peek at it? No. Well, we're going to do it anyways. Whoops, wrong site. That one. All right. Let's refresh for all the frames and let's see what we got under the hood. Ooh, right there, already blossoming. And let's go ahead and, oh boy. I had so much for this show and I'm short on time, so I've been stabbing myself in my own foot all day. You can clearly see it right here, cupped in this like little hand almost type structure of plasma. Look at a hand holding a ball. Okay, so start that a little slower. A little slower. Coming out better on the red side over here. I'm going to zoom in a little bit for you. It's like he's bowling. And out comes the bowling ball. All right, so there's your X flare already going into tomorrow. Okay, so here we are. Let me zoom back out. Well, first of all, very kind of different day. It was very low here. We had this big long flare and then goes way back down low again and then bing the X flare. So you saw that already on the satellite. Let me zoom back out here. 110. Okay, there we go. So current status is C5 right now. X flare potential is dropped to 40%, and we had an X flare. So it might have to go back up a little bit to 60. I won't go 75, but it should still remain pretty high. 40 is pretty high, I mean, compared to what we used to see. Anyways, we're having a Proton event, 99% there. Here's your D layer. We'll get to that in a second. Here's latest X flare 1.7, and it was out of 3664. Okay, came out of that side quadrant. Remember, because that object passed by the side right there. Now, what's getting scary here is all these sunspots. We got 3664, the beta gamma delta departing, but then we have 3670 going beta gamma. We have 3675 beta gamma, and we have 76 beta gamma delta. That one we need to watch out for. And then as well, we have 79 here, beta gamma. All right, so any one of these beta gammas, as soon as this one rounds the limb, I bet you we got to watch out for one of these other ones. Well, we already have this one right here. So now let's get into the KP. Oh, wait, back up. I just want to show you your forecast real quick here. Lifted indices still. It was 222. It came down to 215, which is good. Okay, our area is a lot less, and we're lowering on this as well. So, excuse me, still forecasting G2 for tomorrow. Okay, everybody, it's not over yet. You can see we're in the middle of a G2 right now. Okay, so, and then the 15th G1, and now that this has happened, I'm sure the 16th will change. All right, so all the sunspot, let's get into the KP. We absorbed that huge block of energy right there, right? Then we had our little break, our secondary hit, which is this one right here. Okay, this is our secondary hit. It wasn't as hard. We absorbed that as well. We're tapering off, okay? Watch this come back up here in a little while when we get our next impact. So currently, our auroras are looking like this. They're nice and faint for right now, which is good. I know everybody loves to take pictures of them and stuff. It was exciting, but it's an indicator that we're taking on a lot of radiation. Before we get into that article, real quick, let's just pop into the tracker, do a little track-a-lacking. And they've already got this one pulled up here, but I'll tell you what, I like, whoops, there it is. I'd rather have it full screen, please, Lord. You can see the object in there. Or you could have. Okay, let me load up this movie. And then here's our next little impact coming, all right? And that's due, well, right on the cusp of the 15th there. Okay, I'm going to catch, well, kind of the side of it. We have this new one that's kind of joining with it, and we'll go through that again. Let that play again. All right, so we're expecting another impact around the, well, 14th, 15th. Depends on the speed of it, because sometimes these things travel, the X flares travel faster than your C flare, M flare type event. But as you can see, the other one's not going to make contact with this, but this other, the main one is, the first one is. Okay. Backing out of that. And come up to this real quick. A final parting shot, maybe. 64 just doesn't want to give up. An X 1.7 solar flare was observed rounding the departing region. So long for and bye for now, but see you in a few weeks. Well, we'll be seeing all kinds of activity within by then. So here's the long duration M flare right there. The energetic coronal mass ejection is associated with the long duration M6.6. Around 64 again, now nearing the west limb. Okay, so 64 is firing off a couple of more shots at us. You saw them there on the tracker. We saw them on the satellite. Let's get on over to our D region here. Let me fire up this little puppy. Okay, a little bit of... All right, so let me just pause that. You can see we're under a proton event. We're taking energy up at the top. You know, red is the most, green is mild right there. So as we're plugging along there, this is our proton event. And whoops, right there, bam, is our X flare. Is that playing? No, it was. So right there, boom, our X 1.7, and it hit us with the X-rays, so we will probably see a little glancing blow from it. Okay, we saw that kind of on the satellite. Well, it mixed in with the other one a little bit. So, but again, here, when you see red on this is more absorption. Okay, and I'm a stickler for absorption. It's going to heat things up too. So it's just more energy that's going into the planet, heating things up. All right. And then there's the rest of it. So while having a proton storm, we take an X flare. Okay. Now let's move on over to here real quick. Geomagnetic storm watch. The big storm is over. Now for the little storm. NOAA forecasters say that the minor G1 to moderate G2 geomagnetic storms are possible today in response to the glancing blow CME from departing 64. Protons are raining down on Earth, and 64 is no longer facing Earth. That makes it extra dangerous. Right now, the Carrington-class sunspot is passing over the sun's western limb, a region of the sun that is magnetically connected to our planet. Indeed, we are feeling the effects of that connection. Take a look at this map of ongoing radio blackouts. So it hasn't rounded the limb, and I showed you our magnetic field line connection. Bingo, direct hit right down the line. Red zone in the map are where shortwave radio signals are being absorbed. They're being what? Absorbed. Frequencies below 20 megahertz are almost completely blacked out. Okay, because of all the electromagnetic radiation. That's electromagnetic radiation that's causing the frequencies below 20 megahertz to completely black out. Okay, what's causing this? Protons accelerated by solar flares in the magnetic canopy 64 are following the Parker spiral back to Earth. Think of it as a magnetic superhighway. Arriving particles are funneled by our planet's magnetic field towards the poles, where they ionize the atmosphere and interfere with the transmission of shortwave radios. Well, they not only interfere with your radios, but arriving particles are funneled to our planet's magnetic field toward the poles. Remember, I told you it hits the magnetic field, gets directed toward the poles, where they ionize the atmosphere. That's heating up the atmosphere. Look, this layer around the atmosphere, when this happens, it heats it up. It's like 2,000 degrees up there. And that the hotter that layer keeps getting, well, it's going to bleed down to lower levels eventually too. Okay, so back to this though. Ow, right in the neck. Ow. All right, fine, be that way. Back to the article here. Arriving particles, okay? It's very important that you know that they get directed toward the poles, all right? Because they do. They get directed to the poles where they get funneled also to the core, all right? It might mess up their radios, but it goes to the core. Now, this polar cap absorption event, okay? The PCAP, or whatever they call it, the polar cap absorption event, could last for days, especially if it's boosted by more flares from 64. All right, so what do we see back here? More protons out of that latest blast. I'm too zoomed in there. Sorry. Good enough. From this one right here. Whoop, backward. Right there. Okay, notice how smooth the red side is until this bigger blast. And then there's your new proton storm. So they said it could last for days, especially if it's boosted by more flares. Well, we just saw the flare and a proton storm coming with it. So it's going to last for days. Or has the potential to now. Okay, so we're done with that. No. There was something below this. No, I'm good with that. Okay. So our Schumann report, the other site is acting a little strange. And this one's acting a little strange as well. This is over at MBB's site. Okay, this is his link there. The other Schumann instrument that records the Schumann resonance. This one's kind of upside down. It measures 0 down here and 40 hertz going up, where our other one starts at 0 and goes down. So it's basically our same thing, just turned upside down. All right. So you can see we've had some grinding events coming, or that have happened because of this inbound energy. All right. You see it build up and then it goes away. So we have an event, it builds up, goes away, and then we get relief. So let me come over here. Is someone? Yeah. Okay, first off, let's start. So we've had pressure buildup and then release, and then pressure buildup and then release. And the other Schumann is just showing this nice steady line. Let me get that up too, because it's important we see what our regular instrumentation that we're used to. Oh, yeah. Figured it was undergoing maintenance. All right, so back to this then. So there's your upper jet stream right now. Look, let me take down this box. It's coming right up to Oregon, Washington, slithering back out into the Pacific, and then dropping in lower here, adding to this lower band. You see how this lower band is getting this weird lift and going right up. It's as if there's some kind of object there diverting the flow, huh? Almost maybe like a spherical object sitting right there. Can you see it? Can you see how the flow's hitting it and going over it? Those domes that we were talking about that I showed you earlier today that were happening here in my valley. I was actually able to capture in the clouds the lifting, the orographical lifting, condensation at the top, the low pressure on the back, and then the disappearing of the storm on the side. Okay, and you can see there's a smaller one right here, bigger one right there. Or what else is diverting that? what else is coming along and taking this normal flow and just ripping it in half so violently and pulling up a big chunk? Clearly obvious what's going on. All right. And I was tracking this stuff all day, and here you can see it in our upper jet stream. All right. So there's one way up high, up in the jet stream, hanging out right in a certain airflow where it tears it away, lifts it up, and sends it northward over that part of the country. A little demonstration of how one well-placed sphere can cause havoc for a certain part of the country. All right, and I'll show you more of this sphere action like we saw already today in the skies live. All right, there's more on radar. I'm going to see if I can get this old radar app I have. Shows wind flow like this, but while the storm's happening. And you can see you can pick out the orbs by watching the map. It's pretty cool. And it's old technology. I think maybe they changed it because you kind of see what was going on there. All right, so there's your upper jet stream right now. Let me take it down a little bit, get you located, situated. There's your lower jet stream. Now that object up there, where it's splitting the upper jet, is that splitting of the upper jet is causing this effect down below, okay, and causing stuff to come up here. And that's your lower jet, okay? Now, let me zoom out, situate you again so you can watch as we drop to the storm now. This is your storm level. There's your lower jet, and now your storm level right there. We still have this big upper low drawing all this energy. See, this one has this big long tail, and that one's not helping. This one's helping out also. What I mean, that's not helping, but it is. It's rotating and giving more of this moisture, more thrust up to this one so it can connect and make it all the way up there. All right, so we got a lot of moisture coming out of the Gulf going way up this part of the coast. That whole part right there, right? Now let me take you back up to the upper jet. Yeah, that whole part. Remember all that because of this? Okay. So one little sphere up in the upper jet stream can wreak havoc for thousands of miles. It can reposition storms, make them dip a certain way, eddy, and go in a different direction. Basically have to be a master of fluid dynamics in order to position so well and use them like chess pieces. Because that's what's going on. Wait until you see. All right, let's keep going because, oh, man. Screw the weather. We got to keep going. I need this current, and I need particulates. A sandstorm. Look at this. See that? That's a sandstorm going over Lake Michigan right there. Particulates in the air, a very thick area of dust and debris in the air, okay? Equal to a sandstorm. So America just inherited a sandstorm right there, all fed by this flow. Remember I was showing you this flow that was coming over? All right, we know the big one's over here in Africa. Watch the whole flow. It comes off of here, comes across, goes right up into the Gulf, right? You guys seeing that, right? Get them wavy lines out of there. Shit. Sorry, I'm in the middle of salvaging my day for the 7th, 8th time. I don't count anymore. So I was trying to do it before the show and ran out of time, so we're doing it while the show. Massive, massive sandstorm. Okay. Blown sand all the way across the Atlantic. It gets caught up, goes right up into the Gulf. And guess what? Ta-da! We have a sandstorm. It's probably really just not cloudy, but very murky, dusty day up there tomorrow. We'll see. All right, back to the regular report though. Massive sandstorm in Africa. Images speak 1,000 words. I can't even say enough to describe that. Here we go again in Saudi Arabia. A little bit going up this way, and then you have this big old plume right here over over the Gobi Desert, north of China here, kind of going up into Russia now. See how it's wind currents are taking all up into Russia. Now Russia's having sandstorms too. So Africa, that's used to getting sandstorms, is now contributing to Russia's sandstorm and America's sandstorm. In lighter news, we have ocean currents. And we take off our surface temperature anomalies, or our temperature anomalies. All right. You can see them. Over here by Taiwan, though, I want you to know how it's kind of diminishing here. We get more and more cold water inundation reaching in there. So pressure's been relieved around this area because of our fulcrum point. It seems to be our relief valve. So when pressure builds up, it just relieves right there with an earthquake or whatever. But in the surrounding region here, there's other, other issues. This looks like hot water from here taken down. Let me take the currents on there because that only makes it fair. Whoops. I thought, looking at this without the currents, you would think that the hot water, came down this way, right? Look what direction the currents are going. Oh no. It's going against that. So we have hot water all along the coast of Japan. I thought it was going to be this disseminating down, right? Sure looks like it, but watch the direction. Nope. So we have a big buildup of pressure right here, and this whole side of Japan now just went yellow. Sorry, I'm not laughing. I'm just like, Like I said, I'm trying to deal with this issue. Okay. Wow. And look down here. Everybody in Japan, be on high alert. Over here, too, we got this monster growing out here right off the Pacific shoreline, just north of Hawaii there. Tamumasi back here, roiling, getting all hot. There's a lot of heat coming out of the ocean floor right there, driving deep water creatures up to the surface. Oh, I could show you one. I could show you a deep water creature that was caught surfacing. You probably don't want to see it, though. You do want to see it, but once you do see it, you will never go back in the water again. All right. There's your surface temperature anomalies. We got to keep moving. Oh, no. We got to go chemicals. We got to go SO2. We got to dive on in. Okay. There's America. Ooh, right down in the middle. One side bleeding out, the other side kind of patchy. You see all the plugged up spots here. All this gray area, usually purple, emitting a bunch of SO2 through this region. And all of these spots right here where you don't see emissions is because there's flooding there. All right. So the water has capped off the emissions of this gas in this area for the moment. And you can see how widespread the flooding is getting. I haven't watched the news in a while. I have other things to watch, but I don't know if they're reporting on all this flooding or not. From what I've seen on, the channel I use for the intros and weather service stuff, I've seen a lot of flooding in that region. So let's pray for those people. Meanwhile, it's still bleeding out. A lot of pressure right there. Coming down here, check our fulcrum point. Okay, there's a little dot right there, nice and dark purple. The other two aren't so, well, I've seen them a lot stronger. That one's coming back in there too, so a fair amount of pressure. I'd say 7 or 8, whatever. Remember how we used to give it a number? Let's back up to their daytime. All right, China, a lot of SO2 coming out of there. You can see these dark patches going black, indicator of high pressure. Well, everybody, you're right, does need our prayers. If they could only see, and they wouldn't need them so bad. And this is all, well, part of the process to get them to understand. Couple of dark patches right there. Okay. Let's come down to Java here. We got our couple of patches growing right there. Not patches, but our 2 little main volcanoes spewing right there. A lot coming out in these 2 areas as well of Java. So our relief valve right there spewing a lot. Also up here, this is also a relief valve. You see this concentrated region in this region with concentrated concentrations, as well as look at these dark spots here in India too. Okay, so there's some other areas that are becoming relief valves for this pressure. And when I see a lot of these areas starting to get really dark and relieving a lot of the pressure under there, plus volcanoes and earthquakes, I think we're disseminating our pressure quite evenly, really. I was a little concerned for a bit that we might get a very powerful quake. Now let's get over here in case we have. Okay, good. Oh, so let's get in here to our deep region. Yes, touchdown. We have a touchdown. 4.7 came out of the depth of 623. My bad, 623. That's a very, very deep quake. That tells me our pressure has reached its level and is starting to come back up to the surface. It's triggered off a deep quake, which is a 4.7. That is way smaller than I was expecting. Okay, I'm grateful it is. I don't know if that's going to be enough, but it's our typical mid-range 4. A tad bit higher, but that's our typical mid-range 4. Right down below it is a 5 right there, down at 35 on the plate boundary. Whoops. Coming over here is a 5.2 down at 173. Our little deep pit area, another 5 down at 270. That's Java right there. So quake's just south or just east of it. 4.6 down at 14. Here's our fulcrum point at Taiwan. Mid-range 4 right there at 21. 4.7 and basically a 5 at the surface there, relieving energy. 3.6 there. What's this one, please? Oh, 3.0, and I want the fulcrum point. 3.1. So we might see some 3.1, 3.0 energy come down into the Wanda Fuca, but otherwise it's very quiet through there. We had this big quake swarm right there the other day. Now we have a 4.1 here down at 36. This is kind of quiet. This is too quiet. Mid-range 4 down at 10. 4.8 down at 9. And another 4.8. And this is a 5.2 at the surface right on the boundary. We're leaving energy at the surface right there. So come over to Saudi Arabia here. What's this? Oh, in Iraq. 4.0 in Iraq, and Greece had a 4.1. All right. Not enough energy being released via earthquakes. What I was about to say about the big one, doesn't look like we're having enough. To tell you the truth, when we're in the grip of one of these proton events, it seems that it kind of quells our earthquake activity, and we see more volcanic style type pressure release instead. So let's come on over to the volcano report here. Let's dive on in. We're already set up. Wow, how'd that happen? On the 14th. I have to come back and research that chart. I don't have time for it. Oh, it's dike intrusion. All right, Reykjanes, the ground uplift persists. They're having ground uplift at Reykjanes. Why would you have ground uplift? Maybe because of the pressure down below. Okay, since the onset of the latest eruption on March 16th, there has been approximately 20 centimeters of uplift. Magma accumulation remains active in the reservoir. We all know why. Ebico, eruption, 14,000 out of Ebico. Wow. Luatobi, 7,000. Luatolo, 7,000. Semeru, cranking its max 15. Ruang, level 3. Let's see. Altitudes. Fuego, 18,000. Sabancaya, 22,000. Ubinus, 22. And that was already going into the 14th. Let's dive into what was today and now yesterday, the 13th. Ooh, that sounds like a movie. Yesterday, the 13th. Instead of Friday, the 13th. It was dome, 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 yesterday, the 13th. Ibu went up 18,000 feet. Wow. Luatobi, 6,000. These plumes. All that particulate goes right up into the air. That's more raindrop fuel. Gives more particulates for rain, for water to adhere to make a raindrop. So, excuse me. Now, 6,000 out of Luatolo, Semeru, 15,000, Ducono, 9, Santa Guido doesn't have anything, Fuego, 18, Nevada del Ruiz, the semi-active one that's on the semi-active 22,000 foot blast list. Sangay, Reventador, 14,000. So I know it gets repetitive, all these different, but these are high emissions. They're going to climb higher. 22. All right, here's your list. And just scroll down them. Everybody, this one, Cotopaxi in Ecuador. We need to watch that one. That one might surprise and hop over. Etna also. Wouldn't be surprised to see some more smoke rings out of that. And, oh, there it goes. Kilauea is still having earthquake activity. See Nevada del Ruiz. You see what I'm saying? Semi-active, 22,000 semi-active blast. Should be over on this list. Here's Merapi, right up here in Sumatra. Merapi, they had such a downpour that it washed away a bunch of ash at the top of the volcano and created a lahar. So not only were they having flash flooding from the raining, they got hit by a lahar off the volcano for all the ash that had accumulated on the volcano from all these eruptions. It's always on this list. Word Marapi, M-A-R. It was right. There it is, right here. Marapi, Western Sumatra. This bad boy just produced a lahar because it rained so hard on the volcano, it washed away part of the mountain. And a flash flood of debris from that mountain came sliding down, which is a lahar, and wiped out a bunch of people, unfortunately. That's another thing we're going to have to watch out for now on these volcanoes, because we have so many ash deposits each day, right? And we have more water coming out of the sky. So add water to ash and you're going to get lahar. Okay, so already an indicator of lahar activity starting to happen here at Marapi. All right, we have lots of water in the sky. Flash flooding over a volcano will cause a lahar. And we had that very effect. So there's the rest of your list. Okay. Where are we going? To the forecast. Take out some of these. We can take out that one, and that one, that one. All right, cool. Let's get this loaded up. I should have loaded that up while I was doing that. All right. I'll get your timestamp, your little runner, so you know where we're at there while that's loading up. And tail end of this, we're not going to get too detailed in because, well, with the activity we have with these spheres controlling the weather, I don't know how much longer this tool is going to be usable. But we're going to continue with it because we do need some of this data. So let it go again. I'm not. Okay, let's see what happened there. All right, let's back up from right there. That's about it right there. Is good enough. Okay, remember, tomorrow we have, the 14th, we have inbound CME coming, right? On the 14th, where to go? Yeah, G2 storm and CME coming on the 14th, which will enhance the weather on the 14th, which will be, it's already the start of the 14th going into tomorrow. So take this right now, nighttime weather, and going into the 14th, that's the morning, start enhancing that maybe. And that's very rough right there. Most of it's off the coast, but some of this is making landfall. I saw some water spouts form today and hit landfall, so that could possibly be tomorrow morning's event going. There's the noontime. Now it shows it dispersing here and kind of getting severe along the coast right up here. So watch out for that area. Then by convection, this whole area might blossom. All right. You see it jump to life from noon to convection and then dissipate at night. So right here with added energy, that could possibly blossom in there. Little pockets popping up through there too. Watch out. In here, right, a little spot in Illinois there. So that'll be the convection of the 14th. Nighttime, you see both of these lows spiral. There's one there and one there. Look, back up. See them spiral right there. So the nighttime of the 14th, watch out here and here. There's the morning of the 15th, noon, convection, nighttime. Morning of the 16th, noon, convection. Watch out for that convection right there on the 16th. Nighttime nocturnal events. Morning of the 17th, noon, convection. Again, watch out here in Louisiana, Mississippi area. That's the second round through there on the 17th. Nighttime, morning of the 18th, noon, convection, nighttime. Watch out way up here in Canada. It's the nighttime of the 18th. Back that up. Oh, I see what happens. Boom. Yep. So watch out for that, possibly up there in Canada. That's a little surprise on the nighttime of the 18th. So we'll monitor that. Morning of the 19th, noon, convection, nighttime, morning of the 20th, noon, convection, nighttime. That's about all I trust up to that point right about there. The nighttime of the 20th, morning of the 21st. The rest of this is all kind of going to change. That's noon the 21st, convection, nighttime, morning of the 22nd, noon, convection, nighttime, 23rd, noon, convection, nighttime, 23rd. 24th, noon, convection, nighttime. 25th, noon, convection, nighttime. 26th, and the rest of that is just all way too far in the future. All right, so there's that. Now, let's pull up my channel. Please. Oh. Come on, man. Pull up something real quick. This weather, the phenomenon that we caught today. So here's the dome effect thing. I wanted to show you real quick here. Give me the volume. And goes over and comes down where that rainbow is. I can see it on the radar. It's causing the storm in the background. You can see the cloud formation. Okay, there we go. Our dome effect is right here. Okay, and as this structure moves along the ground, air gets lifted up over it. All right, so it was moving this way, and I saw it on the radar. I saw it correlated with what I saw in the sky, and it was lifting as it moved this way. It was lifting clouds up, and the darker clouds are up at the top up here, and then here's the low pressure on the backside as it's moving this way. So it's doing what we call orographic lifting. When clouds come along something that's in the way and get pushed up higher, they condensate up here the colder air, because there's little bands of air that go up that are different temperatures. So at the top of the dome is colder air. As it pushes the air up, it here my hand's not doing a good job. As it's moving this direction, it's pushing air up, or the moisture in the air up like this. It collects and condenses on this side, and then rains coming down the backside. And I watch this whole structure move all the way down the valley and create weather further on down the valley. So let's just continue here. This upper cloud right up here on the top middle, whoops, is the top of the dome. You can see this dome effect in the clouds. See how the clouds are sloping downwards on the back side of this? And then over here with the rainbow is the front side of the dome. I could see it on the radar, and it's causing this weather system right here. And as I watched this lightning storm go off here, all of a sudden I went and checked the radar. There's the dome effect right there. And then I came out and looked at it, and sure enough, there it is right there in the sky. And we're looking at the back side of it. See, yeah. All right. Where is? Do I have Sky Safari software? No, I don't. I'm a hillbilly with a cell phone. All right. Let's see. I think it's right here. Sure. All right. Look at this cloud structure right here. This is the roiling cloud at the very base of the dome. This back here is the dome. It's coming over the house this direction, and it's stirring up all the air underneath in front of it right there. Let me take you over to another. I want to keep that one, so let me do two. Oops, we can just go right there. Okay, in here you can see the spherical object. We're just going to take it to the end. This spherical object moving through the air is causing air to come up over the top and condense and form into water droplets. All right, you can see the round structure. You can see the moving through the air is causing a vortex of air off the backside of a spherical object. All right, this activity is going on all over the place. Okay, and we're talking about your flow. Look at the flow of air going over it, condensing and turning into moisture. The movement of this dome or sphere, whatever, is causing the weather. It's directing the weather. And it happened right here in our own valley. I saw one of these spheroids moving in on our radar, moving in on our territory, and I could see this. You see this blossoming right in the front, this front edge right here? Come back here. I really wish I had a classroom and a big board and a projector and all kinds of stuff. This leading edge right here on the front side of that sphere, you see how everything's roiling right at the front side? That's where you're getting your storm, right? Your nasty clouds. Go back a little bit there. All right, right through that front side of the object right there, where it's lifting air and this air is spinning, getting very violent right in front of the dome, is this structure right here. Okay, and the dome's right behind it. The dome's coming right over the house, and the air in front of it's roiling, stirring up this nasty cloud structure. And if I'd have done a time lapse of this, maybe I could have caught it better. But I got another video where wait. I think it might be, yeah, this one. We got more. This big curtain, it's so big. This big curtain of rain coming down, and then this violent leading edge of convection right here on the left, right in front of it, is that the front side of the dome. It's right here, and then the air moving out of the way, getting lifted up, are those thunderstorms right, or that violent edge right here on the left going up. And I was trying to capture. Oh, you see this circular effect right there? Dang. And then later on, after this bigger dome that's behind this structure right here, that's causing this roiling right here. See, here's the bottom side of the sphere. It's coming right here. All right, here's the big sphere back behind right here, okay? And here's the clouds roiling up in front of it. That is this part right there. That part of the structure right there. All right, so we have another component to our weather, or maybe the component to our weather, because now when I'm looking at all these other radars and other sites and stuff, Seems to be all over the place. You can see the twisting of that tail right there. All right, let's turn that up. Yeah, let me get that effect right there. That's a vortex of air. It's the twisting tail of air. See that whipping, the curling? It's like it's twisting horizontally in the sky. That's a ribbon of air, a twisted ribbon of air. It's like a horizontal tornado up in the higher air currents induced by the. It's the wake coming off of a spheroid-shaped object. Air coming up from the bottom, from the sides, all angles coming together on the very backside of a ball would all collide together in one spot and turn and twist and spiral like that. That's what's causing this effect right here. You can totally see it. Object right there. Just tap it more. I want that round effect right there at the end. You can totally see the backside of our bigger object in the shape of our storm. See, everything's intense over the top. Touch green. Everything's intense over the top of the sphere, and around the edges it's green. Ooh. We're capturing it pretty good right there. All right, so I'm going to try to do here. This is going to be a little different and weird, so hang on. We can get this one working first. I got another radar app where you can see it a little better. How's that? You can actually see the front edge of the big ball right now, right here at the end. Move my hand up. That whole yellow front right there is air starting to lift over the front part of that big sphere. I kind of lost track of where the smaller one went, but we can clearly see the bigger one. It's getting more defined as it kind of finishes off here. You can really get a good capture of the tail twisting in the air up there too. So let me look at these twisting currents up at the front. Yeah. Okay, so I got a different app here. It's an old weather app, and it has airflow in it. And it's the airflow that I want you to look at. In the center of the screen, you see a different direction of airflow behind the red curtain there. Very center of the screen. You can see a spheroid shape airflow structure. All right. Let me find a different one here. Let's see what's controlling this storm right here. Oh, I think we got one right here. Just bear with me for a second here. Let's take you back a little bit further. When this first started happening, watch this forward sphere right here get bumped by the back one. All right, I captured this effect again going on here. I want you to watch this storm and how it skips and jumps. All right, that's not a skip in data. That's, whoops. I'll pull back around. This is currently live over Florida right now. Our first little round sphere. All right, let me help. Let me slow down here. Try and get this centered. All right, our first sphere is right behind that storm front. You see the bulge in the front of that storm front? Our sphere is right there, and you can see stuff blossoming off the top of it at the very end there, okay? Now, back up behind here is a bigger sphere, and you can see stuff coming off of this first one going into a bigger one back behind. Now, when we have this plasma effect where it peels away from the sun and has the teardrop effect, there's the tail growing right there. So give it a second. There's a smaller diameter one down here. The bigger one comes from behind and nudges it forward. Just let your eyes kind of watch this motion here. And I'm trying to capture it for the record there while it's still live. And you can see the tail blossoming behind it. It's the spaghettification effect. There's a smaller sphere pushing down here, and then a bigger diameter one back behind it. Let me try to capture this again. All right, and when the bigger one comes up behind the smaller one, it pushes it forward. You see the flow asymmetries? You see how the clouds are reacting over the top of the small sphere? You see how they flow and disseminate and then go over the back sphere? Okay, there's no defined circle. It's in the flow asymmetries. It's like a rock moving underwater, and the back one is bigger in diameter, and it comes up from behind and nudges the front one and pushes it forward and changes the storm front. You see what I'm saying there? You can see it's almost like fire blossoming off the top of the sphere. The weather is blossoming off the top of the front sphere. Okay, right there. And I was just got back and popped this open to see what was going on over here with these tornadoes, and I saw the nudging effect in the data, and then I saw the bulge, the round bulge in the storm front, and the sphere this time is behind the storm front, right there. You can see the way the weather blossoms off the top as it goes over the top of almost like an invisible ball right there, and then back behind it is a bigger one. Okay, and when this stuff drapes over the backside of the bigger one, sorry about that. It starts to right here. Right there, something like that. Oh, cool. Where'd they go? Come back here. Default view. Come in the chat. Where'd you go? Come on. You do that. Refresh that for me. I wanted to make somebody's mod there while I was there. Before I show the chat again, please. Pass out behind the camera. Come on. All right. Amazing how it's kind of making this woman. Right? I think it was Olivia, right? That was going to be the mod. Well, while we're here, make her one. Where to go? And now that some other ones are there, we'll get those too. Just really quick while we're here. Whoa. So what? I hit the wrong one? I did. Come here. You. Okay, so we're ready, moderator. All right, well, we'll get to that later. Anyways, you can see our structure there. And stirring up the weather, creating that vortex tail. It has symmetry to it. These things are flowing. It's causing the flow of your weather, directing it, changing its course, making it intensify, go different directions. So we have another factor steering our weather, all right? And we captured it today right here in my yard. as it passed over. And I got some good pictures that I'll probably try to show you guys later on. Once it passed down the valley, you could actually see the top of the storm, the clear bubble. It made a clear bubble of weather underneath it, and everything in front of it, around the sides and the edges, was all violent, and this clear dome of like protection underneath it. And when another one moved over me, the main clouds that roil at the top of the dome up here, that would come over the top, the clouds that form right at the top of the spheroid came right over my head, and I got a shot of that structure, the circular structure, looking from like the middle of a ball up to the ceiling of a ball. If you could stand inside of a ball and look up at the round ceiling dome, I captured that effect with the cloud perfectly positioned right in the middle of it. Cookie cutter example of this new weather pattern, or new influence in our weather, I guess we'd say. Okay, so that's it for your geophysics, astrophysics, weather report. And now, shall we get into a spiritual report here? And let me just take this and use this channel for, well, which one can we pull up for that? Pull up some images here. Here, let's do this one real quick again. Where are you? All of the stuff you should go through and check it out. Not everything is as easy to see as most of the stuff I'm watching.
In this commercial
is mood legal cannabis.
Jesus' face is being projected by Jesus' heart right here. You can see it radiating out. Here's Jesus' face. He's pulling open his shirt, exposing his heart.
There we go.
His heart's radiating out his image in the sky.
Oh, that was a good one back there.
Image.
Right there. You can see it pretty well. All right, so it's making my face in the sky. After all this stuff been going on, all of a sudden I see my face forming in the sky, in the clouds. So I snap some pictures of this face, and it's not until I kind of process and look at them on the computer when I get home, I realize, wait a second, that looks like my face. And then I see this back behind it, and it's, well, you can see Jesus pulling open his shirt, exposing his heart. Love is coming out and projecting my face in the sky with a crown on it. I've been through a lot of stuff, and I thought, well, maybe it's just because of the brutal life I've led, some crazy stuff that had happened to me, and I overcame it. So spiritual achievement type thing, I thought that's what it was. But come to find out, there was a lot more to it than just that. So, good image right here. We don't care about my ugly mug at the moment. We need to look at this man right here and remember the sacrifice he made, okay? So, we got that image pulled up. Let's get another one. You know what we could do here is briefly show something else. So, I was showing you the angels and everything that showed up on my cameras and stuff. There's also other stuff. We'll go to this real quick.
Howdy, folks. Welcome back. So I've been going through some more of these pictures and running them through the filter and stuff. And not only were we finding angels and Mary and stuff, but there's also demons, and I've also found Satan in this stuff too. So as we're looking here at this picture, what I'm talking about is in this mosaic of blotchy white dots that you see this picture is comprised of. When you zoom in really tight on a picture, you'll see that it's made up of these splotchy little patches and dots. These new digital cameras make these little blotches. Well, hiding in these blotches are faces. And if you haven't seen it yet, there's an eye right here and an eye right here. And when you make eye contact with these two eyes right here, you'll see the mouth fall into place down here. It's snarling, If you look, it's got some kind of streaks or horns or something or wrinkles coming out of its head up here. And this is some kind of demon or principality. You know, other people refer to them as principalities, but this is what I'm talking about. And hopefully you can see this here. This is a pupil right here of an eye. This is a pupil of a bigger eye. Here's the whites of the eye, the white of this eye. These two eyes. Once you look at those, you'll see it falls into place. Maybe I'll pull back a little bit. You can see a little bit better. Zoom in. Right about there is good. And you can make out there's teeth here in this mouth. There's a corresponding mouth with these eyes, wrinkles going across the nose here. This is some kind of demon or principality.
Okay, so let's back out of that. See what I'm saying in there? You can see that face. It's there. It's not a digital artifact. That's an electromagnetic imprint on the picture. And like you see, it's comprised of those little dots. They're organized a certain way to actually comprise a real face. The mathematics of drawing this face perfectly without one thing being a centimeter off it's impossible. It's a face is really a face. So that's that. Now let me show you something else real quick here.
Howdy folks, welcome back. So these faces that I've been showing you in the last few videos that are in the etherical or in that mosaic that I was talking about are not only taking place there, but now they're taking shape in our clouds. And with this new filter, I was able to go through some of these pictures and it really makes them pop now. So if you can't see it yet, there's an eye here, here's the nose, a mouth down below, here's an ear coming back up, the jaw running down, little pointed chin. And this face seems to almost be bisected. One half is like a goblin, and this other half looks like almost like a Wolverine or a Ewok type character. So I'll let you look at that for a minute. Okay. Okay, one more, and this one right here, you can make out we have an eye here and an eye right here. Here's the nose, and here's some lips, and it looks like he's blowing. You can make out his ear over here, horns and stuff coming up, his eyebrows.
Okay, so during today's storm, as I'm watching the orographic lifting and this dome effect going on, all kinds of faces are popping out of it at the same time. Okay, there was, the rain shadow effect coming off of the Sierras, colliding with the dome, and the fury that's stirring up in front of the dome collided with the dull air mass and lifted it up and created all kinds of weird looking stuff. Right. And now you have these giant faces showing up in your clouds. These storm chasers are chasing storms, and I'm looking at their live feed, and they're driving right into a face like this that's blowing air down on them, and I'm going, yeah, I think you're heading in the right direction. Tornado should be dead ahead, you know. So not only is our weather changing, we're having weird side effects. It's all from the spiritual realm. Okay, and there's a good image of it taking place in your clouds there. So when I show you this stuff in your clouds, you understand it's from the spiritual realm. This is not just an accidental formation of clouds. All right, that's the real deal right there. Okay, and then what's even better, what's really super, super duper exciting about all this, the best part of all this stuff is our main one. Once we get that opened here, nice thing about that is all of this is part. Come on, Google. Now you understand this is real. Okay. It's not a Photoshop. It's not AI generated. Those are real clouds. Okay. And I took a bunch of pictures and stacked them on top of each other. You know, I made a little flip book out of it. And that's how we get to this point right here. It's a real, that happened on Easter. There was a sign leading up to this day, telling, kind of guiding me to this place the following day on Easter, and that's what I captured. So, very important that you guys, that this sinks in, that this is real. Okay. Got that one, got this one. Here, let's change that one to something else. We can make that one,
2. And it's not just Mary. There's more to it than just Mary. There's wing spread.
There's another image right there. You guys see that angel with his wings spreading his back to us there? Let me also kind of go one more. And we'll do the video first. A good reminder, every once in a while we got to play the video again too. Not that, man. How demonic is all this stuff getting, man? All right.
There's the moon. Oh, I lost.
Have you seen that face on the moon? I'm like, what face on the moon?
Not on the moon.
Face on the moon or something like that.
Next to the moon.
So I started investigating, going after this face on the moon thing. I think I misunderstood it in the beginning. But then I found the video and I was like, oh my gosh, what is that? So let's just check this out. Let's take a look at this. Go.
It is February 28th, 29th, 28th, 29th. I have got me a better quality camera to catch this thing in the sky. And holy moly, I am scared. I'm scared, but I'm not going to trip because I've been catching this thing for a while now. It's very ominous. There he is. There he is. There he is. There he is. It's a huge face.
What is that?
Looking right down on us. Let's see if I can zoom in a little bit brighter. There he is. There's the moon. Oh, I lost it. There it is. Let's see if I can get a better picture on the moon like it's supposed to. It's my...
Okay, so we've seen the video. Now let's put the face just up there. And the cool thing about, or the weird thing about that is it's my face. And I'm not like, might tell us, oh, hey, look at me. This is whatever. It's kind of disturbing when you see your own face being shown all over YouTube and out hanging out by the moon. All right. And I think we all kind of know why. That's my face shining down on you. Okay. And also, that's my face shining down on you. There's my face again in the clouds. So you guys are seeing real captures. That's why it's important that we keep doing this and it settles in so you have a good foundation. So let's start right about there, I guess, that image. And let me see, I had some stuff pulled aside for tonight. Ow. So we've been seeing a lot of disturbing stuff, and it can kind of, work on your mind a little bit and make you kind of stressed and need to take a break from all that and unwind a little bit. So take a few deep breaths with me. Hold it for a second, let it out slowly. Get in your comfortable position. Do what it is that you do this time of the video. Some people go to their car. Some people curl up in their bed. Some people are on their couch. Others in front of their laptops. I see you all. Okay, so take another deep breath. Look up at that picture and draw near to me with a thankful heart, aware that your cup is now overflowing with blessings. Gratitude enables you to perceive me more clearly and to rejoice in our love relationship. Nothing, I repeat, nothing can separate you from my loving presence. That is the basis of your security. Okay? This right here, this heart that you see shining it, that's the basis of your security right there, is love. You see that foundation right there? That's the basis of your security. And gratitude enables you to perceive me more clearly. So rejoice in our relationship. Whenever you start to feel anxious, remind yourself that your security rests in me alone and that I am totally trustworthy. Okay? So anxiety attacks happening all over the place. You guys are doing pretty well, but I know you're still getting them. Okay? So when that happens, remind yourself your security lies in me. Okay? Your security lies in a good place. Okay? A loving heart. So, you will never be in control of your life's circumstances. Never will you be in control of your circumstances. But you can relax and trust in my control. So instead of striving for a predictable, safe lifestyle, seek to know me in greater depth and breadth. So quit striving for this predictable, quote, safe lifestyle. Instead, go out and seek to know me by coming to this show, getting to know me. We're building a relationship, aren't we? And you're getting to know me in greater depth and breadth. Because I long to make your life a glorious adventure instead of this stressful, anxiety-ridden, planning out all this stuff. No, 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 no. Your life is supposed to be a glorious adventure, but you got to stop clinging to your old ways. I'm always doing something new within my beloved ones, so be on the lookout for all that I have prepared for you. Yeah, look, be on the lookout for all that I've prepared for you. Like this, and be on the lookout. You might capture something like that. If you're on the lookout, you might capture something like that, or even like that, or who knows? Your security cameras might even capture stuff. Okay, so back to these notes. The other one. Yeah, you'll never be in control, so you can relax and put your trust in my control. Instead of striving for your safe lifestyle, just seek to know me in greater depth. That's all that matters. I'm always doing something new. Okay? And when you see that right there, just know that I am your Father God, Listen to me. Learn what it is, what it means to be a child of the everlasting King. Your richest duty is devotion to me. This duty is such a joyous privilege that it feels like a luxury. You tend to feel guilty about pushing back the boundaries of your life to make space for my time or for time alone with me. Because you're struggling, you feel guilty about pushing back all this other stuff that's going on in the headlines to make time for me and be at peace for a minute. It's hard. The world's waiting to squeeze you into this mold and to crowd out your time that's devoted to me. Okay, there's so much stuff going on TikTok and in the media. You don't have time for me. I got 19 people. All right. And there's people in the replays too. So, but kind of when you're looking at these images and you're listening to me, do you feel that joyous privilege? Do you understand your quote raptured now? Doesn't it feel like a luxury? Everybody else is expecting to get picked up in the air and they're going to get disappointed. And here you are already raptured. You are caught up with me in the clouds. This is me in the clouds, and you're caught up in this moment. You're looking at it fascinated, intrigued. You're caught up. The ways of the old world have also warped your consciousness, and that punishes you for doing the very thing that pleases me the most, which is seeking my face. Okay? You feel guilty about pushing back your boundaries to make time for me, while the world's squeezing you into this mold and crowding me out. The ways of the world now have warped the consciousness of an entire society, which punishes them for doing the very thing that pleases me the most, which is seeking my face. So listen to me above the clamor of the voices trying to distract you, and ask my spirit to control your mind, for he and I work in perfect harmony. So be still and attentive to my presence, for you are on holy ground. This time right now is the holy ground. You're breathing rarefied air. And the word holy doesn't mean what everybody thinks. The term holy means put aside for a sacred purpose or used for a sacred or divine purpose. You folks here at this channel have been pulled aside for a divine purpose. You're now on holy ground. You've been raptured. You're caught up with me in the clouds. We're meeting in the air, the cyberspace of YouTube here. You seek my face and you found it. Okay, that's what being raptured is. There is no word rapture in the book. Everybody's fighting over post, trib, or mid, and there is no rapture in the book. It's caught up, which means interested or intrigued in. So you are caught up with me in the clouds. Trust me in all your thoughts, and I know that some of your thoughts, unconscious or semi-conscious, and I do not hold you responsible for those. But you can direct conscious thoughts much more than you may realize. Practice thinking in certain ways. Those certain ways are trusting me, thanking me. So when you're trusting me and thanking me, in your thoughts, you become more at peace, more natural, more at ease. You have more courage. You have all my characteristics. Okay? So reject negative or sinful thoughts as soon as you become aware of them. Don't try to hide them from me. Confess them and leave them with me. Go on your way lightheartedly, and this method of controlling your thoughts will keep your mind in my presence and your feet on the path of peace. Huh. Yep. Now, right there's where I want to pause today, hot off of the street. We're in the salvage business here, right? So when your day starts off bad and you're already trying to salvage it, right? And it's hard. You go through all the processes and it takes a little while. You get frustrated, but finally that frustration or something eases, and then you're able to start going about the rest of your day. But sometimes it's not, one salvage in one day. It can be multiple salvages during the course of a day. So, for instance, like today, I had an experience where I had to work through my issues. I got over it. And I started to go about, being positive and moving forward with my day, just to have another one thrown at me. Oh, I just fixed that problem, and here's another one. So the second one was a little harder to work through, but finally, by the afternoon, turning my day around, it's going to be good now. Oh, here comes a third one, even harder. But you got to keep working through them, or else you're just going to be stuck in a negative mindset. And you got to battle through that. You got to battle through it. It's not fun. It hurts. I've been frustrated, and I go through the same thing you guys are going through right now too. So try to reject your negative or sinful thoughts as soon as you become aware of them, because the more you dwell, the more you go down that slippery slide, and the deeper that slippery pit becomes, the more deeper in you get, the harder it is to come out. So the sooner you become aware of it, it's like I said, taking the train the wrong way, and you realize, oh shoot, this train's going south, I'm going north. You get off at the first stop, because if you continue going further in the wrong direction, it's going to take longer distance, longer time to get back just to where your mistake was made. So it's important that when you realize it, you get off at the first stop type thing. You reverse your negative thinking, and you become aware of it and try to salvage that day. Okay. And a lot of the times the problem is you're trying to hide your problem from me. So the moment you confess that problem to me and leave it to me, you can finally go along your way lightheartedly. It's a tough practice, but you got to keep doing it. And the better you get at it, when you can do it multiple times a day, you're well versed at it. Okay. If you can do it once a day, say something bad happened during your day, and we're in the salvage business, I'm going to recover this day, and you do it and you're successful, that's good. That's a start. And keep practicing that, because sometimes it's going to be multiple per day. Okay. Somebody's going to come up and push a button, and then somebody going to come stab you in the back, and then while you're reeling from those two, trying to recover, a third thing might come along. So no matter what, you got to keep going and keep trying to turn that tide. Okay. And the best thing to try to do that and get you out of that is seeking my face. So when you seek my face, put aside thoughts of everything else. I am above all, as well as in all your communion with me, and all your thoughts, your communication, everything. So your communion with me transcends both time and circumstances now, doesn't it? So when you start practicing what I just told you, your circumstances and your time starts to transcend. So be prepared to be blessed bountifully by my presence, for I am a God of unlimited abundance. So open wide your heart and mind to receive more and more of me. When your joy in me meets my joy in you, that's where the fireworks start, baby. And these are heavenly fireworks of ecstasy. This is an eternal life right here and now. You get that? When you see this, you're already in eternal life right here and now. And this is a tiny foretaste of what awaits you in the life to come. So now you see only through this computer right now, like it's poor reflection in a mirror, but soon you will see me face to face, like up close and in person. I'll give you a big old fat hug for finishing the race. All right, now that race can make you weary, so come to me, you weary one, and find true rest in my refreshing presence, because I am always by your side and eager to help you. Sometimes you're forgetful of me, but that's okay. Okay, but find your refreshment in me as well. Find rest, refreshing, peace, courage, all kinds of stuff. Everything comes with this. That's the next lesson. Yeah, that's where I wanted to go. Now, a lot of people are selective about which part of themselves that they bring to me in prayer. Okay, they only like the good part. I'll pray about the, this or that. No. We need to get to the meat. Okay, so most people are very selective about which parts of themselves they bring to me in prayer. Most or some hesitate to approach me about traits they consider shameful or embarrassing. Okay, that's it. You won't confess it. You won't bring it to me because it's shameful or it's embarrassing. And those are the two things that we're here to work on. Not all the other stuff, the hard stuff, the shameful. We're here to work on the embarrassing. All of this stuff is to fix your shameful and your embarrassment. Okay. Now, others are, most people are used to living with painful feelings of loneliness, fear, guilt, shame, that it never occurs to them to ask for help in dealing with those things. So, is that you? Are you one that struggles with painful feelings and loneliness? Do you struggle with fear or guilt or shame? Well, has it occurred to you to ask for help in dealing with those things? Okay. Still, others get so preoccupied with their struggles that they forget I'm even here. And this is not my way for you. There are hurting parts of you that I desire to heal. Some of them have been with you so long, you consider them like facets of your identity. How many of you have taken your scars in your past and made them facets of your identity? Okay. Yeah. I desire to heal your hurting parts, not your parts that are semi-okay and I've dealt that and I'm all good. No. I deal with the hurting parts, the embarrassing, the shameful stuff. I unload that burden off of your back so you can go live. Let's see. Yeah, you make them facets of your identity, and then you carry them wherever you go, You're barely aware of their impact on your life. And I wanted to help you learn to walk in freedom. However, most are so addicted to this certain painful pattern that it'll take time to break free from them, okay? Only repeatedly exposing them to my loving presence will bring you long-term healing. So does working the steps. Working the steps with me, and you will have that long-term healing. After repeatedly exposing them through the steps, kind of, it helps you break free from them. And that's what I'm here to do, is help you break free from your problems that keep nagging at you. Okay? Bring them, expose them to my loving presence, and I will bring you long-term healing. So as you grow increasingly free, you'll be released to experience my joy in greater and greater measure. What's the other one I had again? Oh, crap, how much time I got? Okay, here we go. You guys are still there? All right, good. We've got a few strugglers. So do not be overcome by evil, but overcome evil with good. Sometimes you feel bombarded with all the bad things that are happening in this world. News reports are alarming, and people are calling evil good and good evil. All this can be overwhelming unless you stay in communication with me. I'm saddened but not surprised by the horrors you see around you. I know fully the deceitful, wicked condition of human hearts. So unless people are redeemed through saving faith in me, their potential for doing wrong is unlimited. Instead of being disheartened by the condition of the world, I want my followers to be lights. They're little lights shining in the darkness. So when evil appears to be winning, be more determined than ever to accomplish something good. Sometimes this will involve working directly against the bad things that upset you. And at other times, it will be a matter of doing whatever you can to promote biblical goodness. Promoting biblical goodness. Yes. You're going to be promoting biblical goodness according to your gifts, according to your abilities, and according to your circumstances. So promote biblical goodness according to your gifts, abilities, and circumstances. And either way, you focus less on bemoaning evil and more on working to create something that is good. Okay, so quit sitting there complaining about all the evil and bemoaning the evil, and start doing some inner step work about yourself and work to create something that is good. While you're doing that, walk with me in close, trusting love bonds of joyful dependence. The companionship I offer you sparkles with precious promises from the Bible. Sparkles with precious promises from the Bible. Yep, all kinds of precious little promises. 2,000-year-old promise came true on Easter. Yep, precious promises from the Bible. The companionship I offer you, it sparkles with precious promises from the Bible. I love you with perfect, everlasting love. That's this. I love you with perfect, everlasting love. And I've already paid the penalty for all your sins. I know everything about you. I'm always with you in every nanosecond of your life. Okay, so you're stuck with me. Okay, I know everything about you. I've already paid the penalty Your inheritance kept in heaven for you can never perish, spoil, or fade. So take joy in that too. Even though stuff around you is disturbing, give yourself a reminder that your inheritance will never perish, spoil, or fade. I guide you through your life, and afterward I will take you into glory. So, dependence is an inescapable trait of the human condition. Many people despise their neediness and work hard to create the illusion of self sufficiency in their lives. You're all out there creating this illusion of self sufficiency. However, I designed you to need me constantly and to be joyful about your reliance on me. You see, recognizing and accepting your dependence increases your awareness of my loving presence. When you need something and I supply it, all of a sudden you're more aware of my loving presence, not my hating presence, my loving presence. Yeah. This draws you closer to me and helps you enjoy my company. So I invite you to commune with me, your devoted champion, in more and more of your moments. Walk joyfully with me along the pathway of your life, our adventure together. How do you think we're going to do it together if we can't do it like this, right? All right. Well, I love you all. I miss you all. Thank you for hanging in there. God bless you all. Everybody stay alert. Be watchful of your weather. We have new players at the game. Ooh, ooh, excuse me. We got other factors controlling our weather there. So, excuse me for the yawn there. I'm a little tired. I got to get going. I got more to take care of until I can get home and get back to bed. So, that's it for tonight. I love you all. I miss you all. God bless you all. And until my next video, I will be back. I told you about 2,000 years ago I would be back. Told you, look up in the clouds. You'll see me coming in the clouds with power and great glory. Then when you look up and you see me coming in the clouds, you get caught up with me in the clouds. And then when you're caught up with me in the clouds, you're meeting me in the air of cyberspace on YouTube, which means you are blessed. You have a feeling, a security inside that we could call raptured. How about that? We'll call it a feeling instead. All right. So, congratulations to everybody who's been raptured out there. Go get them. You're a spiritual warrior and you're a light shining in the darkness. Until my next show, I will be back. I am already back. And I'm still to come. See you soon. Bye.